Hello everyone, Trainer Brent here with another cooking, baking tips for you. Today we're going to be making overnight oats. This is one of my favorite recipes as it is very straightforward and really easy to make, and it's something you can just shove in the fridge and leave overnight so that way when you wake up the next morning you already have breakfast ready to go for you and you don't even have to worry about a thing. So, when making overnight oats, I like to use the rolled oats, so your standard rolled oats. So first things first, I measure out 1/4 of a cup. So what I found with overnight oats is that I tend to put a little too much in there and I make too large of a cup. And for me personally, I like to keep my breakfasts just a little on the smaller side. And especially with these oats, they expand quite a bit. So they're going to take up a lot more space than you think. So I have 1/4 of a cup oats. We're just going to go ahead and put that in there. So our oats are down there at the bottom of the cup. We'll knock out all of the dry ingredients first, and this is where you get to have a little creative liberty, and you get to really kind of go with whatever you have kind of around the kitchen. So we have our oats in there. I'm going to put a little wheat germ in here. So we have our I have my little measuring spoons here. I'm going to put about a teaspoon of the wheat germ in there, more a heaping teaspoon. This isn't a 100% precise science, so if you prefer to maybe have a little bit more than a teaspoon, you can put a little bit more than a teaspoon in there. It is totally up to you. You get to kind of create a lot with this. And we have some flax meal. We're going to put some of that in here as well. These are all really good sources of fiber, good sources of energy to get your day going. So we'll put a little bit of that flax meal in there. Excellent, excellent. So we've got our dry ingredients. We've got our rolled oats, flax meal, wheat germ. You can put wheat bran in there. You can put actual flax seed in there. There's all sorts of things. Any kind of seed or kernel. I've seen some people put sunflower seeds in here for just a little bit more crunch. And they really seem to like that as well. So we've got all our dry ingredients assembled and good to go. Give it a little shake, just get that mixed in there. Next, I've got 1 fluid ounce of milk. And this is going to really just help to kind of soak into those oats. You don't want to use too much and you don't want to use too little. So I find that 1 fluid ounce is just about perfect. So as you can see, it's just that little perfect amount. It fills up the bottom of the cup, but you can still see the oats in there really clearly. Next, we're going to go for the yogurt. Now, this is where, again, you have a lot of options. For me personally, I like the Greek yogurt, the unflavored Greek yogurt. So this doesn't have any extra added sugar. It is just plain Greek yogurt. It is, to be sure, an acquired taste, but the more you eat this, the more your taste buds will get used to it. So I can't recommend this enough. It's got a lot of really good protein packed in here. And that yogurt is really good for your microbiome because it's got a lot of those good friendly bacteria in there. So we've got our standard tablespoon. We're going to take 2 heaping tablespoons. So again, this is not a precise science, but we're going to take 1 in there. Bam. And we're going to take 2 in there. Now I have a kind of a smaller, just standard spoon to kind of help get this off because that yogurt does tend to want to stick. Scrape that off. Excellent, excellent. And at this point, you can kind of eyeball things. Again, I like to keep these cups a little bit smaller, but there's our yogurt. If that's not enough, you can add another tablespoon or maybe even a 1/2 tablespoon. So let's just throw in just a little bit more. We'll put in kind of about a 1/2 tablespoon there. And again, these are heaping tablespoons, but this is totally up to you how much you want to put in. That looks about perfect. So I'm just going to kind of scrape off that extra yogurt, get as much of that as I possibly can. Good, good, good. And at this point, again, you get to be creative. I have some blueberries set out here. So I'm going to just throw a couple blueberries in there. Blueberries, raspberries, any kind of fruit, bananas are great to put in there for a little bit of sweetness. If you want something a little sweet in your overnight oats, and then I kind of just take that standard spoon and just give it a little mix. Now, as far as overnight oats go, They're great for sitting in the fridge, and they can sit in the fridge for a good long while. I have made these at night and then gotten about 6 or 7 hours of sleep, so they sit in there for about 6, 7, maybe 8 hours, depending on when I make them. And when I wake up in the morning, oats are softened and they're good to go. That being said, you could make this in the morning and eat it in the afternoon or the evening. You probably want to leave it soak in there for about 3 to 4 hours would be a good amount of time to let it soak in there for. And then finally, just to make sure that it doesn't get too dried out in the fridge, you want to take a little bit of plastic wrap. So we'll bring out our handy dandy plastic wrap. Go ahead, cover up our yogurt, close up our blueberry container. Bring out a little bit of that cling wrap. Roll it out just a little bit, not too much, because we don't need a ton for this cup. And just throw it over there, and you're good to go. And go ahead and put this into the fridge, and you will be ready and good to go later on in the day. Again, overnight oats, great source of fiber. The yogurt gives you a good amount of protein, so you get a little mix of carbs and a little mix of protein in there. You can add more or less oats if you so desire, and you can add a little more or less yogurt if you so desire, but about 2 to 3 tablespoons of yogurt. Again, I like the 1/4 cup of oats, tablespoon of flaxseed, tablespoon of wheat germ, just a small handful of blueberries. Oh, and there's my sous chef telling me that it's time to cut the video off. So thank you all very much, and I hope to see you in the next one.